Hey, what's up everybody? This is Red Crate Dragon of Imperial Outpost Armory coming at you with another instructional tutorial video. Today we're going to be covering the version 2 knee kits that I now have available. Obviously they're a lot different than the version 1s in regards to the outer shells, which are also pulled out of 090. As you can see, these are one piece, whereas the version 1s are in 3 separate pieces. And then of course you get your standard version 2 inserts that go with these, which are also a little bit different than the version 1 inserts. Now if you're going to be getting these are available in either dented or non-dented. If you happen to be getting the non-dented version, you're still going to get the dented inserts because it just covers it up, and it was pretty pointless to make 2 separate molds for that. So as you can see, this is basically what you get with the kit. This one on the left here is already assembled, but you would be getting 2 of each of these, a left and a right, and then 2 blanks. The blanks aren't absolutely completely necessary for the assembly of this kit, but I just include them anyway, give you the option if you want to use them or not. Okay, so moving on. One other thing before I get into that we want to mention is that at some point I'll be offering the knee darts and knee dart installation kits. Now if you have one of those, which is basically a couple pieces of foam like this, and then your knee darts will come with that too, and those can be purchased separately also. If you have those, you're going to want to install these first before putting your kit together, because once you put them inside there, this actually gets covered up, and I cover this in my other tutorial as well. But as you can see, that slips right in there, and once you put the insert in, it's going to cover it up, so it's going to be a real pain to get to. You don't want to assemble it first and then try to put the knee darts in. It'd be a lot easier to do it the other way. So alright, with that out of the way and everything set up, we're just going to go over the different materials that you're going to need, which isn't really much. Get your kit. You're going to need a bunch of these spring clamps, and of course everybody knows that I swear by this stuff, DevCon high strength plastic welder. This stuff is awesome. It works on not only plastics but metal, concrete, PVC, fiberglass. You can use it on wood, anything porous. It just bonds to it. Working time is about 4 minutes. It might be a little bit less if it's warmer where you're at. Whereas where I'm at in this little sweatshop with the Jawas, we're getting about 3 minutes working time out of these. And so you want to work fast and efficient, but you don't want to be slopping it around either. And 3,500 pounds strength. The stuff is really, really good. It lasts a long time. It doesn't holds up very well to heat and cold, and it doesn't crack or shrink or anything at all. I've been using this stuff for years, so you know, I'm pretty much a guinea pig on it, and I've used it on just about everything. It works real good. Okay, so that's pretty much enough of that, and I'm going to go ahead and set the camera down, and we're going to get started here, so I'm not making everybody seasick too at the same time. Okay, as you can tell, we are not filming, and I guess what my dad would say is we're not building the Taj Mahal, so in this case we're not filming an Oscar award-winning movie. So this is just strictly for tutorial purposes to let everybody know how these are going to be put together. Okay, so I got the DevCon plastic welder. You're going to need one of these little sticks, comes with it, or you can just get one of your own, whatever works. We're going to need quite a bit of this stuff, probably almost half a tube. We're going to do the whole thing in one shot. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to smear it all the way around, in particular around the edges, get it around all the way around, and then a little bit in the middle as well, just to kind of get some good coverage. And you're just going to put it on this piece. You don't need to worry about getting it on the other piece. Now this is a kit I'm assembling for a client. This one is already trimmed, finished trimmed, and also went ahead and sanded this surface and then the inside of the other surface. Not necessarily absolutely got to do it, but I like to just have that extra little surface for the tension, for the adhesion of it. Just kind of helps out, but this stuff will bond even without it, but it's just like an extra little step I like to add in there. So go ahead and get this started. This stuff does smell kind of nasty, so obviously safety is a concern. You want to wear your rubber gloves and your respirator, which in this case won't be doing that for the purpose of the video, but stuff is pretty strong, so if you're sensitive to that, then you want to keep that in mind. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and pour some of this out, or squeeze it out. And of course the DevCon never wants to squeeze out evenly. Okay, as you can see, I like to back this off too, just kind of keeps it from gooping out when you're done. This is about how much I used, which is, you know, probably about, I don't know, 7 inches or so. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up. I like to do it in a long, kind of like a long stream. It's easier to mix it. And like I said, if it's warmer where you're at, this stuff is, it's going to cure pretty quick, so you want to work with efficiency and fairly quickly, but and you don't want to be slopping all over. Now if you do happen to get some on the outer shell, or if it's squeezing out or whatever, don't wipe it, just go ahead and let it cure, and then give it about 5 to 7 minutes, and you'll be able to just either peel it off with your fingernail or slice it off with a X-Acto knife. Ooh, yeah, that's pretty strong. I'll probably be high by the end of this video, but so if I start talking funny, that's why. Okay, that's pretty good right there. We just want to like an even consistency and color. Okay, we're going to go ahead and move pretty quickly on this. You really don't want to be dilly-dallying around while you're doing this. Like I said, go around the edges first. That's where your weakest points are going to be and where it's going to want to come apart the most. I kind of pay particular attention to the narrower areas right there, because that's where it's going to be the weakest. Now if you have the installation kit, this is all going to get filled in as well, and that'll probably adhere right up against that foam piece. But since we don't have one for this, I'm just going to kind of go around that area, since we don't have a whole lot of this to be smearing around here. Okay, now another thing you want to keep in mind is your little piece here. See, I just touched a bunch of that. Okay, like I said, not absolutely necessary, but it does help with making it nice. And okay, did that, and I'm going to put some, a little bit more on the outside of that, even though I probably don't really need it. Okay, this stuff is already starting to cure. Okay, what I'm going to do now, as you can see, I'm touching this with my fingers, which is why you want to have your gloves on. Basically, I'm just going to spread this apart. I'm going to spread it open like that, and then just clamp it right over the top. Okay. That way the wings of it, you want to get the body seated right here. Okay, once you got that seated, you want to check here to make sure you don't have any overlap. And you should have already done that on a dry test. Always do a dry run on this before you do your adhesives. So I'm going to go ahead and put a clamp here in the bottom to make sure it seats. I'm going to clamp in the middle where the body is, the main body first, and go all the way around. Okay. And you can never have enough clamps with this stuff, so don't worry about it. Okay. All the trouble areas where you want to be worrying about
strength is where you want to put your strongest clamps. And I have some other weaker clamps. These ones, the springs are just kind of wore out. So I just use those for areas where I don't need a whole lot of strength. Okay. This is going to look like a medieval torture device when I'm done, but it's alright. Okay. So, basically, got all the pieces on here, all the clamps on here, everything's good to go. Now if you need to make an adjustment, switch some clamps around, that's fine too. As you can see,
try not to get seasick. As you can see, I got a little bit gooping out right there. Not a big deal. We're just going to go ahead and let that cure. If you really want to, you can always, let me stand this up so you all can get a better look at it. I don't think it's going to stay, but that's fine. I only have this many clamps, so I just do one at a time anyway. And that is pretty much it. So like I said, the nice thing, I've had so many requests for the version 1s assembled, and I just don't have time to be putting these together, but so I won't be offering those anymore, the version 1s. I will be offering the version 2s assembled, and basically the whole reason for doing that is to save me some time. So if you're pressed for time, or you want, this one is probably going to be a little bit stronger than the version 1s in terms of strength as far as these little areas are concerned on the wings of the body there. Now this one over here, this is one that I finished. This is the right one here. This is for a FET, obviously, and this one I kind of went a little bit extra on the outside of that one, and I'll probably, this stuff you can Dremel this too, by the way. You can Dremel that down if you want. I'll probably just kind of smooth it out and then hit it with some primer just to make it look a little bit nicer, but it won't really matter because it's going up against your knee anyway. But as you can see, this thing is pretty tough, and these would actually probably be alright on their own pulled out of 090, but I wouldn't really recommend it if you're going to be abusing it a lot or wearing a lot. It is going to crack eventually, especially in these areas here. So if you put that insert in there, that's really going to help it out a lot, and it's going to prolong the life of it, and hopefully be the last one you'll ever have to buy from me. So, okay, I think that's pretty much it. This is video number 3 in a series. I'll be doing more of these in the future at some point. Not all of them will necessarily be for tutorials on how to assemble pieces of my kits. They may also be about just things like doing Bondo and fiberglassing, stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. If you guys still have any, or girls, guys and gals, if you still got any questions after watching this, just hit me up with some questions, and I'll be happy to answer whatever I can and help you out in that aspect. So that's it. This is RKD signing off, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.